Okay, good evening. Welcome to
FamilyMath584.
FamilyMath584. So recently we have been studying some of the juggling roots that we saw in John Baez's post. Do you remember those?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What was going on with those juggling roots?
So you were looking
tell me?
at the roots of different kinds of parabolas.
Or polynomials.
Yeah.
Different kinds of polynomials, yeah. They weren't necessarily parabolas. In fact, the ones we were looking at specifically were actually fifth degree equations rather than second degree ones. But they were polynomials.
Yeah.
And what was happening to the roots of those polynomials?
Well, they were kind of switching around in interesting ways.
Yeah. And so here I have 3D printed the path that some of the roots were taking. Remember when we looked at them as slices in time?
Mm-hmm.
So this one is slices in time, 2 steps through the process. What can you tell me about this 3D print?
Well,
and other than that it's really 2 3D prints sitting on top of each other. So be careful when you touch it because it might fall down.
well, the dots, those outer dots, aren't back to where we started.
Oh, okay.
And neither, well, the big dot is. The dot starts here
Uh-huh.
and there. But, like, this dot, for example, starts here and winds around, ends up here, where this dot right on the opposite side started.
Okay.
And that dot actually winds up, and they're sort of directly opposite. They wind up opposite from where they started.
All right. And what are some things you can you can tell me about this as the cat walks in?
Well, just have. Seems like the big thing, the big dot, the one that has the most thick, seems to stay all the time, and the thin ones stay the thin ones.
Oh, okay. So the big dot stays thick.
Yeah. So
All the
like
way.
it continues down in a spiral all the way down, and it's always thick.
It's always thick. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. The thickness is actually not really part of the diagram. It just means that around this root of the polynomial, and a root of the polynomial is where a polynomial is equal to what?
0.
0. The thickness here means around this root, it remains very close to 0. That's why it's thick. And around these other roots, it actually doesn't stay that close to 0. And you'll notice it's most thick where 2 roots are coming together. And why do you think that is?
Well, because that's where they're sort of intersecting, almost here.
Means where they're kind of both coming close to 0.
Right, so you've got 2 things that are 0 coming close to each other, so everything around there is then kind of close to 0.
Yeah.
All right, so that's interesting. Now I want to look at a second one of the prints where I've only made 1 cycle of it.
Okay.
Okay.